Hi everyone and welcome to our webinar for today, Introduction to Money and Credit. My name is Xavier and I'll be your host for today. Now, before we go into our topic, let me talk to you a little bit about Transformance. Transformance is a nonprofit organization founded in 1974, and it is a United Way service provider as well as a HUD-approved multi-state housing counseling agency. Part of our services include credit and budget coaching, financial education, student loan coaching, as well to our AIM program, our C2Safe program, our housing counseling, as well as our debt management and bankruptcy coaching. Like I said, we are a part of the partnership with United Way, and part of our goal is to move 250,000 people out of poverty in the next 10 years. Here's a little bit on how Transformance works in our ecosystem. Basically, we help the economically impaired community that is struggling with high divorce rates, high bankruptcy, home foreclosures, dependency on payday lenders, among other economic disadvantages. And through our help, not only with the help of our certified coaches, but with the help of our partnerships, let it be other government agencies, other nonprofits, other for-profits, education organizations, um, we help them increase their credit score, increase their savings, so they can have a more forward thinking about asset building, increase their sense of security and confidence. Our goal is to have a economically sustainable community with a higher discretionary income for goods and services, lower demand for social services, and enhance social wellness and engagement. Helping individuals improve their financial stability is what Transformance does. Let me tell you a brief story about one of our customers. Ben, he came to Transformance several years ago after experiencing a very expensive divorce. After living off his cards and credit cards, Ben came to Transformance, and with the help of our certified counselors and coaches, he was able to pay off his debt in a reasonable and responsible fashion. Through our budgeting classes and our debt management program, he was able to get back on track, and he right now is a leading pillar in our community, having served at the pleasure of two U.S. presidents. Now, for our topic for today is going to be, like I said, money and credit. We will touch a little bit about goal setting, credit reports, credit scores, and we'll give you some tools in my head that will help you down the road. First step, it will be goal setting. It's good that, especially if you're in a family environment or you with your significant other, your spouse, you set a creative and a joint goals for you to not only minimize disagreements, but you can also increase confidence. And what we mean by this is, especially if you are dealing with another person, it's good that you talk and explore the other person's economical priorities. So then if a situation comes on in the future, then you can minimize the disagreement and you already know where the other person stands. And also by creating realistic goals and setting up goals, it will boost your confidence since you already know what do you want. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPBs, they have a goal setting tool that can help you um, move along and not only realize that goal, but do a budget and so you can prepare that budget for that goal. On step one, they recommend for you to create a list of short and long-term hopes, wants, and dreams for you and your family. Example of this could mean that you wish to go on vacation by this time next year, or by next time by this time next year, you want to pay off one or two credit cards. So that will be a short-term or long-term hope that you may want. Now, from all that list, you need to create a specific, measurable, and time-bound goals. These are the goals that you can ask yourself, how will I do it? How will I know if I'm successful? And when will I be complete? Basically, if you can, these three questions are related to the specific, measurable, and time bound. If you can answer yourself this, then there you have a goal that is specific, a goal that is measurable, and a goal that is tied up to time. Create an action plan to accomplish your goals. This is basically how you're going to do it. And finally, for goals that require money, determine how much needs to be set aside each week to be able to accomplish it. Another way that the CFPB has, another tool that they have to be able to, for you to keep up with your money and with all your expenses, is the spending tracker. They recommend for you to observe and document the way you spend your money for a time period, usually between 1 or 2 weeks to a month. With this, you can keep track of every expense that you have. You can analyze all your expenses to see where is your money going, and this will allow you to determine where a change can or should be made. Also, they recommend a cash flow budget. This basically means that to be informed of your status. Basically, be informed and keep updated of your income, expenses, and time. This cash flow budget tracks and categorizes all your income and expenses week over week. So this is basically, you put a calendar, you mark down the days that you gonna get an income, and mark down the days that you need to pay your bills. So basically, by this time, when your next pay period comes around, you will know and you will have more or less of an idea what amount of money you should have. And this helps you ensure you have money to cover your current expenses and also save for bigger ones. Moving to your credit report, and for the credit part of our webinar, um, the credit report is issued by three credit bureaus. These are basically Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They keep record of all your history, but remember that criminal records and medical information or medical records are not part, and I repeat, are not part of your credit report. Basically, on your credit report, any negative information will stay there for 7 years, bankruptcy will stay there for 10, but any positive information um, will stay forever. Basically means that every time you pay off a car loan or the time that you pay your mortgage, that information will remain with you and will remain on your credit report um, forever. One good way that all three credit bureaus recommend for you to get a free um, credit report is to visit their website www.annualcreditreport.com. Basically, on this website, you can get one free report for each of the three bureaus per year. So once a year, you can enter and you can have your credit reports for all three major credit bureaus for free. The credit bureaus, like I mentioned, they're Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All three are private institutions that play a critical role in our society. They inform lenders about your credit worthiness, and the lenders or the creditors they decide based on the information that Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion provide them. They base their information, their decision on what is on your credit report. So basically, the amount of money that they lend you, the amount of uh, the interest that you get will be depend on what the creditors or the lenders they get from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Based on a 2012 report from the CFPB, the three credit reporting agencies provide information on more than 1.3 billion consumer credit accounts, aka trade lines, each month. Basically, since they cover a lot of information, this is why the annualcreditreport.com website that I talked about earlier uh, it's a critical role because since all three major credit bureaus handle that amount of trade lines every month, it's easy to find for them to be confused and to put wrong information into a wrong account. So by going to this website and keep doing it every year, then you keep record of all your credit reports and make sure that all the information that is there actually belongs to you. Remember that one digit of your social security that is off, that might be the difference. Here's a look on a credit report. As you can see on the top part is going to be your identifying information. Basically, this is going to be your name, your address, date of birth, social security number. On the second part, you're going to find all the trade line information. This is basically all your accounts, mortgage, auto loans, credit cards. It's going to have the day the last day reported. It's going to have it's going to have the day that it was open. It's going to have the maximum amount that you can have. It's going to show your balance as of the day that was last reported. It's going to have a rating on that account. Then you're going to have the inquiries that you initiated and other types of inquiries. And at the bottom part, you're going to have the public record. Now, moving along to credit scores right now, the credit score is your FICO score. Um, these are determined uh, by certain things. Depending on your credit score is going to be the risk factor that you represent. And what I mean is the lower your credit report, more risk you represent to that lender. So basically, the lower your credit report, the more than likely you're going to get a higher rate or less money. Why this could be why do you have multiple scores? Basically because each of the credit bureaus, they have different databases so that they can determine your score. So basically you're not going to have the same number for all three credit bureaus, but you more or less will have the same number. Over 90% of the of the lenders, they use the FICO score to base their decisions. And again, like we were saying, depending on your score, it's going to be the ability for you to borrow money and to get a lower rate. Now, what does your FICO score consider? Well, your FICO score is basically uh, divided into 5 categories. Your FICO score will be most impacted by your payment history. Your payment history um, takes up 35% of your FICO score, followed by the amount owed. So basically, the key to have a good credit score, a good FICO score, will be for you to not only to pay on time, but also keep those balances low, ideally at zero. Um, but since sometimes that's going to be a little bit difficult, then it's highly recommended for you to keep paying on time and to keep those balances low. The remaining of the remaining percents of your FICO score will be divided between the length of credit history that takes up 15%, new credit takes on 10%, and types of credit round out with another 10%. Now that we covered that, here at Transformance, we want to introduce our Pocket Change USA app. It's a perfect tool to help you not only track all your expenses, but it will help you. You can set up alarms and you can set up notifications for you to pay your bills on time. For you can so that will help you build up your FICO score. Our section plan is an interactive resource. It help it allows you to build plans like on this example right here. This person set up a goal of $8,000, and this person estimated that to be able to reach that goal by the target date of August the 1st, 2017, then this person needed to deposit $400 each month to be able to reach that goal by that date. Our planning section of our Pocket Change USA app. That, by the way, remember that our Pocket Change USA app, you can download it for free on your iPhone and your Android. Well, the planning section is called the Fitbit of personal and financial accountability. It gives you it basically gives you feedback on how are you doing on your progress. It will keep track of all your expenses. You can keep track of all your expenses. You can take it anywhere, so you will avoid having to have a sheet of paper and fill out all your budgets. You can do that on your phone. Uh, can edit your goals on time, so you don't lose track of all your expenses. You will also receive weekly emails providing updates on your goals, and it will give you updates on your milestones and your progress. Well, thank you very much for attending our webinar for today. Thank you for being here with me in our webinar on money and credit. For more information about Transformance and our upcoming webinars, please visit our website, transformingsusa.org, or you can call us at 1-800-249-2227.